And here we are with yet another CG project. This time it's the COLOSSALS by CiderHype, I believe. Ciderverse Entertainment. The COLOSSALS must fight for their lives against their deadliest foes, themselves. Interesting. With 9, probably only 8 days left by the time this video's out. Days left in the funding period. It has 48 backers and has raised $2,000, 400% of its $500 flexible goal. Alright. Hello, potential Indiegogo backers. That's a line straight from Ethan. Ciderverse Entertainment proudly presents The COLOSSALS. The COLOSSALS #1 is a 64-page full-color action-adventure graphic novel that takes you into a multiverse, whatever that means. 10 years in progress. That sounds not unlike my writing endeavors. Like I haven't actually gotten anything ready to publish, and yet I have been working on a lot of things for, 20 years? Mostly. It's been a few things that maybe it's been 25 years. Anyway. Oh well. The year is 2030. Yeah, that's probably when I'll get the first the first one out. The world has changed dramatically in the decades since the what? The I think that's supposed to be cataclysm. But of course it's not spelled cataclysm. Whatever. Anyway, and Star Supremes rise to the global stage. I mean, it might not be. It might be misspelled on purpose for some reason, but anyway. Miracle City now occupies the coastline of a new superstate known as Megafornia. Okay. Made from the ruins of Washington, Oregon, and California. More than 120 million people call it home. Yeah. It's depressing that things have gotten to the point where it would probably be an improvement for the country if Lex Luthor's dream of dumping all of the coastal cities in California into the ocean and creating a new coastline that he could, profit from, would actually probably improve the country significantly. In the absence of the threat of war, humanity has expanded into the stars with orbital and lunar space colonies. I'm hopeful we'll do that at some point, but, as far as the threat of war not being a thing, it's always going to be a thing. However, not all has changed for the better, for even now mankind grapples with a new species seeking to take the evolutionary crown. Okay. In all of this chaos, a shadow from the past looms over the future, and the COLOSSALS must fight for their lives against the most effective foes that they've ever faced, themselves. When Star Supreme is brought to her breaking point, the world asks, can the COLOSSALS survive? And apparently CiderHype's real name is Burpee. I have no idea what ethnic background that could possibly be from. No clue. I've never heard of such a name before. That's odd. Very odd to have watermarked that way. Most people don't do that. Anyway. Created, written, and lettered by Thomas Burpee. Okay, so he did everything except the art, I guess. Well, on the coloring. And apparently the character and vehicle designs. After 2 years of building the... 2 years? Of building the Ciderverse, I have assembled... I thought you said it was 10... I don't know. Assembled a team of phenomenal talent. Leandro's jaw-dropping artwork Has impressed indie and professional creators alike. Daniel consistently slam dunks each page with colors that bring to life. Ferdy? All-inspiring designs inside this expansive, rich world. Building the CoLOSSALS first installment. Alright. I've all got a fucking watermark on it. It's not as obvious, you know, at first, I guess, but start to look for it. It's like, yep, it's there. Ethan Van Sciver's honest critique. Hold an anchor panel. Okay, I don't know. With that device, Leandro put pages into overdrive. That's weird. All these people that do campaigns on Indiegogo, and there's just never, you know, they never watermark their shit, and there's watermarks on every single one of these. Challenge in this endeavor is to fulfill ahead of schedule. It's often talked about, but lately it hasn't happened a lot. It's a mountain I want to climb. I want to put this book into your hands as fast as possible, so we can move on to number 2. There's so much to see in the Ciderverse. Watch crowdfunding. Alright, full metal backer will get metal prints, 6x8s. Star Supreme, 6'4". That is really fucking tall. It's, you know, it's fairly tall for a dude. For for a woman, like shit. Shadow Spinner. Isaac. Delilah Church. 14K stretch goal. All physical backers get a poster. That is a, I mean, what is it at $2,000 right now? It's like, that is a massive distance to go to get to a stretch goal. I mean, maybe you should have considered, you know, something. I don't know. I mean, Mike could have considered something, you know, like, I don't know, 5K maybe? A 5K stretch goal? You know, even if it's not a poster. I mean, you can make it a mini poster, or you could make it a bookmark or some fucking shit, but it's like, you know, putting a stretch goal that far out as your first one, I don't know. And Challenge R bonus comic at 30K. Yeah, definitely not going to hit that one, and I'm guessing not going to hit the first one either. So, no stretch goals. You know, probably no stretch goals going to be met on this campaign, since there's only 2, and they're so the fuck far out, you know, just not going to happen. It's like, you know, you got 9 days left. Even if there's a 30-day extension, it's like you're not, you know, you're not going to get 14K probably out of it. Alright, tiers. Featured tier, Preserver, $50. Estimated shipping is July of next year, so that is a long way out. Ships... I mean, he says ship it ahead of schedule. It's like, good, because that schedule is giving you a shit ton of time. 8 claims. Ships to the United States, Canada, and the UK. So this is for the non-Australian English-speaking world, I guess. and New Zealand, although, you know, honestly, you know, New Zealand and Australia have, you know, recently demonstrated how awful they are. Fucking horrible governments you guys have. Unbelievable, you know, locking down for like a handful of cases in one part of the country, and they're like, oh, put the entire fucking country on lockdown. You know, murder all of the doggos, you know, like in case they spread what basically amounts to the cold. You know, the common cold. Jesus. We value preservers. This perk gets you 2 copies of the CoLOSSALS. 1 to read and show off to your friends, another copy to keep away from peanut butter glazed fingers. Well, I mean, just oil from your fingers is probably bad enough, but let's hope that people are smart enough to not actually be eating something while they're reading their comics. That's a little, I don't know. So you get 2 copies of the physical. You also get a PDF, and you get a Star Supreme print and a Nega Supreme print. Don't think they mentioned what Nega Supreme is. I'm assuming that's basically like Nega Duck from Darkwing Duck. He looked exactly like Darkwing Duck, except he was dressed in different colors, and he was, I guess, the nemesis of Darkwing. Anyway, Spark, $15. Every great blaze begins with a spark. This tier includes the PDF of the Colossals. So, 64 pages. I would think $10 would be more reasonable. You know, just saying. 12 claimed. Igniter, $25, and this gets you the physical and the PDF. That at least is good. I mean, the physical being $25 is like, that's standard for ComicsGate, although it's really pretty pricey for anything that's not ComicsGate for the most part. And it does include a PDF with the physical tier. That is a very good thing that usually ComicsGate projects do not bother with. Often they don't even have a PDF, digital copy, and if they do have a digital, then they have a tendency to want to overprice it, which this campaign is kind of doing, although not nearly as bad as some people, like Micah Curtis, for instance, overpricing his at $25 for just a standard length comic, and this one's longer, but it's still 15, and that's kind of steep price for digital. And then most of them, even if they do offer digital, they have a tendency to not offer the digital as coming with the physical, so it's an either-or proposition, essentially. Although, again, with Indiegogo, you do, of course, get the option to back multiple times. That's another thing, by the way. It's like, I don't think usually when they offer one, most CG campaigns don't offer the digital as an add-on. Occasionally they do, but I don't think they usually do. Usually they don't. Just leave that out. I don't know. I don't know. There's a different mindset in CG, generally speaking, and it's frankly not, I don't think, a very helpful one to to increasing their sales. 17 claimed. Full Metal, and right now there's so many campaigns that are labeled CG to go through, or campaigns that, while they might not be officially CG, like Billy Tucci or Liam Gray or whoever, or even Micah Curtis at this point, because Ethan has specifically said that Micah is out, so he's kicked Micah out of CG. He also welcomed Liam back, but Liam's still, So anyway, but regardless, it's like there's so many campaigns that are still definitely in the CG sphere to cover that there's no time to try to cover non-CG. But I don't know if the number of campaigns dwindles, or if we get through them all or something at some point, and there's no more new ones to cover, or not enough to occupy very much of our time, then I suppose we can move on to looking at some non-CG campaigns. Full Metal Backer, $370 Holy shit, that's expensive. Is your wall lacking an eye-catching piece that makes your party guests drop their drinks and all? I don't think you want them dropping their drinks. This is the perfect perk for you. The Full Metal Backer gets one 24 by 36 inch. That's pretty fucking big. Metal print Colossals cover poster. Euro frame included. That's supposed to be one word. It is, for some reason, 2 words here. 2 6 by 8 inch metal character prints. The Colossals physical. The Colossals PDF digital. That is a huge, I mean, 2 by 3 feet, shit, that's a huge fucking metal print. Explains why it's so incredibly expensive. 0 of 2 claimed, so no one has decided to lay out $370 for that thing. I'm not surprised. I mean, I wouldn't mind having it, but, for a more modest price, perhaps, assuming that I had the money, but I don't have the money right now, so anyway. Original art, $600. Supreme backers will receive original Colossals art with such an active and robust world on display. The Colossals #1 backers are sure to receive dazzling original art pages. Interesting enough, there's only 5 of them available. So 1 has been claimed. And that ships to the US and Canada only. And the metal ships only to the US. The physical ships to US, Canada, UK. PDF obviously ships everywhere. And featured tier ships to US, Canada, and UK. Alright, so one other thing that also Kickstarter kind of does that Indiegogo does not, I think Indiegogo featured add-ons available. They had an add-on feature, I think, before Kickstarter got around to having one, so that was good. But now that Kickstarter does have add-ons, they do have a little thing on the tier before you click on it that tells you whether or not add-ons are available. It doesn't tell you which ones are available, but it tells you that there are or are not add-ons available for that tier. So, yeah, that's a little something that might be helpful for Indiegogo to include at some point. $10 shipping for the physical to the US. That is standard ComicsGate pricing. $25 to the UK. That's a little bit steeper. I think a lot of times it's 20, but 25 is, it's still within the realm of reason. And it's 20 to Canada. You'd think that with Canada being so close that, even though it's technically another country, that the shipping wouldn't be that gargantuan. But I believe I mentioned this before. It's like I have freaking looked at things to buy off eBay or whatever that ship from Canada, and even when, for what it is, it's moderately pricey, for this little collectible whatever, the majority of what you're actually paying for is still it's still the shipping. Like, it's like, oh, this thing, it's like this little piece of plastic basically. It's just like $15, and it's like, oh, that seems a little steep. And then it's like, oh yeah, and by the way, it'll cost you like $19 to have it shipped to you. It's like, what? What the fuck? No, thank you. Not gonna more than double the fucking price of the thing, Anyway, all right. Also 10 for the Preserver tier, and also 25, and also 20. All right. Full metal, and that only goes to the U.S. So let's see what that is. 65 shipping. Shit. Damn nation. That's just oof, man. So expensive. Alright, and 600 for original art, and that goes to the US or Canada. Shipping on that to the US is 10. And Canada, 20. Okay, so it's 10, 20, and 25 is the rates. Alright, and there's no add-ons. I didn't see any add-ons for anything. So, anyway, there's the Colossals. I don't know how much in the way of cheesecake is actually in the book. It does appear that the main characters, both the protagonist and the antagonist, appear to be female, I guess. I don't know. And all of these... there we go. So it's a female character, and that's a female character, right? And I think, yeah, this is a male character and another female character. So you got one boy, 12 years old, and then you got age unknown woman, 16-year-old girl, who unfortunately is already bald. That's tough at 16 to go bald, especially if you're a girl. And then 27 woman, and so yeah, seems to be a lot of female characters. Liam presumably will not be happy about that. I can't remember. It seems like he said why at some point, but I don't remember what he said about exactly why he's against female protagonists for some reason, but he has something against that. Maybe one of these years I'll manage to get an interview with him and find out. Get it on record. Why is it that you don't, Anyway, alright, so there it is, and there's a little over a week left. Like I said, probably only 8 days by the time this video is out, left to back this, although I don't know if this is the first 30 days or not. If it is, then it may have a 30-day or whatever extension. So, and I mean, with it being July of next year before it's supposed to be out, you would think that it would go in demand, but you never can tell. Always possible it won't go in demand. So I guess act as soon as you feel comfortable. If you're concerned, if you want it and you're concerned that it might be too late, then or might if you wait, then go ahead and grab it. All right, until the next one.